We live in a time where many have dismissed the Bible, casting aside its historical accounts. Why? Because they've accepted a rewritten, mythological history. A history that is widely believed despite the overwhelming evidence that contradicts it. But when we examine real history, the records of cultures from all over the world, a fascinating pattern emerges. Their accounts align with what we find in the scriptures. And if the historical record of the Bible is true, then the gospel message found within that same history is also true. For over a decade, the subject of the Tower of Babel has been intensely studied. In a world heavily influenced by secular worldviews, the interpretation of this event has been distorted. Let's take a look at how the Tower of Babel fits into the broader narrative of human history. According to the secular model, the universe began with a Big Bang, an explosion that supposedly took place 13 to 15 billion years ago. From there, they claim, the sun and stars formed, followed by the Earth, then the Moon, then the oceans, and through a series of random events, life emerged from chemicals, evolving over time from simple organisms to complex ones, eventually leading to primates and then modern humans. One of the most influential proponents of this theory, Charles Darwin, suggested that humans evolved from ape-like creatures in Africa. This view has dominated modern thought and has directly challenged the biblical account of human origins. But what does the Bible say? The scriptures tell us that after the Great Flood, humanity descended from Noah's family. God commanded them to be fruitful, multiply, and fill the earth. Instead, the people chose to settle together and build a city with a tower reaching to the heavens, defying God's command. In response, God confused their language, scattering them across the globe. This moment, recorded in Genesis 11, marks the origin of different languages and the dispersion of people groups. Secular history suggests that humans migrated from Africa to other parts of the world. But if we reverse their migration model, placing Babel as the starting point, the evidence aligns more closely with the biblical account. Ancient traditions from numerous civilizations refer to a great dispersion of people and the sudden emergence of diverse languages, accounts that echo the biblical narrative of Babel. The Tower of Babel has inspired legends and myths across cultures. Many ancient civilizations, including the Sumerians, recorded accounts of grand towers and divine interventions. The ziggurat, known as Etemenanke, meaning the foundation of heaven and earth, was dedicated to the god Marduk in Babylon and may have inspired the biblical account. Additionally, the Great Pyramid of Cholula in Mexico shares eerie similarities to Babel, suggesting a global memory of a divine scattering. In Genesis 10, we find a detailed record of Noah's descendants. These genealogies are not mere lists of names. They provide the foundation for tracing the spread of human civilization. Japheth's descendants settled in Europe and parts of Asia, Shem's in the Middle East and parts of the Far East, and Ham's across Africa and the ancient Near East. Even today, linguistic and genetic studies point to a common ancestry, reinforcing the biblical model. The Jewish historian Flavius Josephus also ties the Tower of Babel to Nimrod, a mighty ruler who sought to lead humanity in rebellion against God. This interpretation aligns with Midrashic traditions, which depict the tower builders as defiant, even attempting to place a statue atop the tower as a sign of their independence from divine rule. A fascinating aspect of this dispersion is the architectural legacy left behind. Many ancient cultures, from Mesopotamia to Mesoamerica, built towering structures, ziggurats, pyramids, and step temples that closely resemble the description of the Tower of Babel. This pattern suggests that the people who were scattered carried with them the knowledge and ambition to replicate their once great city. But this historical debate is not just academic, it has had real-world consequences. The evolutionary worldview particularly as it was understood in the 19th and early 20th centuries, provided justification for racist ideologies. Darwin's book, The Descent of Man, categorized races in a hierarchy, fueling dangerous beliefs in racial superiority. By contrast, the Bible presents a different picture. We are all one race, descended from Adam and Eve, and later from Noah's 3 sons. The truth of Scripture upholds the equality and unity of humanity. Despite its varied retellings, one truth remains. Human pride leads to division, while God's grace offers unity through Christ. The question is, will we heed history's lessons? The Tower of Babel is more than an ancient tale. It is a pivotal event in human history, and its significance extends beyond the past. Jesus Christ, who was present at Babel, later came into the world to unite people through his sacrifice. Where the confusion of languages divided humanity, Pentecost, as recorded in the book of Acts, temporarily reversed that division through the gift of tongues, foreshadowing the ultimate unity we will experience in eternity. We must not lose sight of Christ in all of this. The Bible's historical accounts point us to him. Jesus said in John 8:58, "Before Abraham was, I am." He is the eternal, unchanging God who has been involved in human history from the beginning. The question is, will we trust his word over the shifting theories of men? The history in the Bible is true, and that means the gospel message is true as well. If God is sovereign over history, then he is sovereign over our lives. Let us seek him, trust his word, and proclaim the truth in a world that so desperately needs it. Thank you for watching Archaeology of Faith. If you found this video insightful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep seeking truth.